big high-powered rifle and went down to where all the tourists were, and he started picking them off one at a time. A bit like that Norwegian fella did here on that island. And he killed about 20 people and wounded a few. And he was a multi-millionaire, this lad. He had loads of money. He was just crazy. But that's an isolated case, I mean, that happened. So what they did, they said, oh, he had access to guns. We've got to get rid of all the guns. That's what caused all this problem. And they disarmed Australia. They took all you were allowed to have was a little .22 rifle. If you lived in the country and you needed it to shoot a snake or whatever, that's all you're allowed to have. Or a little .410 shotgun, which is only a toy, really. All the pump action, shotguns and any repeating rifles with, nothing. No revolvers. You've never been out of a revolver here. Not allowed to. But they took everything. And some of them were beautiful antique guns, 150-year-old, that were worth thousands and thousands of dollars. They paid them reasonable money for them, some of them, I think, but they supposedly crushed them all and cut them all in a press. There was thousands of them. Well, you imagine, they disarmed the whole country. And that always happened, Don, just before, usually, you're going to be invaded. Because Hitler did it. He had countries disarmed and they got attacked. Every country that's had all the weapons taken away from them have been attacked within a decade. It's a ploy, really, and it worried me, because I thought, if they're disarming Australia, what protection have we got? If something started where you had to defend your country, at least if you had a decent bloody rifle, you could go out and do your bit to protect your country and try and fight the enemy or whatever. But when you've got nothing at all, you're just going to sit there and get shot up. You've got no chance at all. It's a stupid thing to do. And like you say, all the bad guys in Australia that are dealing drugs, and all the hoodlums and the ones doing the armed robberies on service stations and they've all got guns. They get plenty. In fact, you can still buy guns on the black market here, so I believe. I've never tried to buy them, but they say you can go to various places and get a gun. But I've got my little .22, and that'll do me. That'll protect me. The bullets I got in it, a special bullet, they're the same as the ones you're talking about. They open up when they hit you. They go in just a tiny little hole, but they spread, and you get about the size of half of a dinner plate out the back end. They take half of you with them, so they'll do some serious damage if I shot someone with it. But you'd want to be put in that situation. I wouldn't like to have to shoot anybody, but if I had to do it for my own life and for my wife's life, I would do it. I wouldn't hesitate in shooting someone, but it wouldn't be a nice thing to have to know you've done that for the rest of your life. You've got to think about you've killed somebody, even if they were a bloody crook. But, there are a lot of old people getting broken into over here now. I suppose they're young drug addicts or whatever, but they're breaking in and beating up old ladies, 80-year-old, and pinching all their money and their cards and things like that, And that needs to stop. You don't need that sort of thing. Poor buggers, they just want to live a peaceful life and feel a bit secure, and they get these nitwits breaking in. But anyhow, I'll put it back to you, Don. You can put it over to Terry.
Yeah, we got to use innovation, man. If it came to that, you get yourself a cane, and you get yourself something like a darning needle. You make a small shaft, and you put a CO2 cartridge behind it with a trigger. Somebody comes up and screws with you, just pop them with that, man. The thing go right through, and you probably won't even know what happened. He said, what happened? As this thing pierces his whole freaking body and comes out the other side. I used to have an air gun, a Grossman. I think it was called a Grossman. Man, this thing would shoot 22 size pellets into a phone book about 15 feet away, 3/4 way through a phone book. Man, you shoot somebody in the face with that in the neck area, you kill them. You kill them with that air gun, no problem at all. And it shoots 10 shots in 3 seconds. Man, somebody comes in, you start pulling the trigger on that thing, and what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's not going to do nothing. He's going to die. That's what he's going to do. His freaking eyes are going to go. He's going to get it through his throat. It's going to rip through his neck. Are you kidding me? You don't need a gun to hurt somebody. You can hurt him a million ways. There's a million ways to hurt people. Just make a zip gun. You know, kids used to do that. Grab a freaking antenna off a car, you know, put a latch bolt with rubber bands on it, and put a 22 cartridge in there, and just move the latch. Yeah, it ain't accurate, but up close it'll probably do the job. You know what I mean? Come on. You know, come on. People can build guns. They might be cruel. They might not be Smith & Wesson, but you can make a weapon. That's what they're going to do. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be unregistered, no control at all. And people are going to get killed anyway, you know? Come on. You know, you got to use your head. Yeah, you know, just because they take your guns doesn't mean you can't make a weapon. You know? Jesus, you would get one of these potato guns, man. You can do that, that'll kill you. You ever seen the potato guns? You stick a potato in there, thing hits you like at 400 miles an hour. You know? It'll break your freaking neck, man. You know, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no way to stop people from being slaughtered, that's for sure. Yeah, you're right about it. It's all about the government, you know. They want to feel safe. They're screwing the hell out of us now. Can you imagine if they didn't have guns, what they do to us? Oh, my God. I hate they even thought of it. You know? That's probably the only thing that keeps them halfway in bay. You know? I mean, right now they're screwing everybody. You know, look at that guy with the Ponzi scheme. Man, he did his own people, you see? That's what really made it bad. He didn't care if they were Jews. He robbed them too. Took millions of dollars from them. You know? That was the ultimate slap in the face. A Jew doing a Jew. Oh my God. You know? Can't believe it. How could he do this to us? How could he do this to us? You know? The ultimate slap in the face, man. He didn't care whose money he took. Took everybody. Zsa Zsa Gabor lost $10 million with that scheme. That's what happens when you get greedy. Oh man, this guy can make you all kinds of money. Yeah, man, I'm gonna invest with him. Yep. Anybody even bother to check his credentials? You know, if he's FDI insured or anything, did anybody even bother to check up on the guy? Seriously. Yep. Johnny would have checked on him. He would have been Googling the hell out of that guy. Ain't that right, Johnny? I think we might have lost Johnny. Go ahead, Terry. Terry, what's doing, man?
Yeah, we've got silly gun laws in this country too. About 10 years ago, some kid got a hold of an automatic weapon and took it to school and took pot shots at a few kids. And they clamped down on the guns in this country. All the handguns were taken in, all the automatics were taken in, and in the old days, if you wanted to fire a pistol, you could join a club, and it was guaranteed that you knew what you were doing of. You were trained to use the gun, to clean the gun, and look after your weapon, and there was not a problem. But the problem is, as soon as they banned the guns, all the guns disappeared, and all the guns got into the wrong hands. So the bad guys got the guns, and then the guys in this country who wanted to carry, you know, still play around with guns, joined gun clubs in France and Belgium and Holland. So they do that now. They keep their guns in cabinets over there. So they go over for a weekend and shoot their weapons, and still got them over there. But what has happened in this country is that the villains are getting hold of replica pistols now, and they're getting some crooked armors around who are bending these things around and getting them working. So you've now got not genuine weapons, but modified weapons, which are worse than the real thing itself, because these things are just damn dangerous. Mind you, Don, I'm pretty dangerous. I belong to a gun club in Norfolk, and I fire flintlock pistols and rifles, and when I'm shooting, you get a yard of flame out the front, and you get about 2 foot of flame out the back. So you're just as dangerous standing behind me as in front of me. But that's quite interesting. But over here. But over here, with what is coming into the country now are the Russian air rifles, which are being overpressured, and those are just as dangerous as anything else. I fired at 25 yards. I fired an overpressurized air gun on the range through a can of baked beans at 25 yards, and it went right through it, Don. So that you can't call that not a lethal weapon, can you? Back to you, Don. You say, I'm feeling well, Don. I've just been. No, I had a big computer crash and I've been off the air for a couple of months, so I got it sorted. But I'm back in business now. G0BXL.
Yeah, I lost my computer too, Terry. A lightning strike not too far from the house. Went through the cable line. Went through the modem. Took out the modem. Took out the Linksys. I had, like, the first time, I never have my unit hardwired to the freaking thing. I had it hardwired. And it took out the computer. And now I got a new computer. And it's a cheap one, but it's a good one. It's working good. It's working really much better than the old one I had. It only costed a little over $400, $430 or something like that I paid for it. It's a Hewlett Packard, got a 17-inch screen. It's nice. I can't believe I got such a nice computer for such little money. I'm very happy with it. But I lost all my pictures, thousands of pictures. You know, Pam and Kurt and his family and anything you had, and, you know, it's all gone, man. It's still on the drive. I mean, I probably could get the drive out and recover it. Because I do have a drive here. I might have my son take a look at it. If he comes over this weekend, he said he might come over, so maybe we can take a look and look in the drive and see if I can get back some of my pictures. But no, I know what you're saying. You know, it's, like I'm saying, if somebody's going to kill you, they take one of those gas cans or something like that, you know, put it next to your house, man, ignite that thing, the freaking thing will blow you to smithereens. I mean, it's a million ways of killing people. I mean, somebody wants you dead, they're going to try to kill you. You know, they cut the brake lines on your car. Hey, there's a whole bunch of ways you're going to get even with somebody. You know? Yeah, some kid gets hold of a gun, they hold the whole country. You know, if somebody else had a gun, they could have killed the kid right there and stopped him from doing it. But as long as nobody's allowed to have weapons, the insane person is going to get one and he's going to do something. You know? Seriously, I mean, what do you know, you take good people that have good records and you let them carry guns. They do in Florida now. A lot of people are carrying guns. The more people that carry guns, the less shitheads you're going to have fooling around. Some old guy whip out a gun, probably see the end of my life. Okay, you know, let's go. You don't know what this old guy is thinking. You know? It's like a guy said something to me once in a range. He says, you know, you get into a gunfight with a bad guy, so chances you're going to lose. I said, well, why do you make a statement like that? He said, because that guy's just going to kill you. He has no recourse, no remorse. He's not thinking about he's going to get caught. He's not thinking about he's going to be locked up or he's going to go to jail. You, on the other hand, when you pull that gun out, all that shit's going to be running through your mind. Oh, I'm going to lose my gun. I'm going to be arrested. I got to get a lawyer. He says, and in that moment that you're thinking about, because you're a good guy, he's going to kill you. I said, well, you got a point. I actually could see the light at that point. I said, yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, because you're going to be thinking and he's not thinking. And that's what's going to get you killed. Don't think, you know. Has to be automatic, man. That's why they train them cops. You know, don't think too much. Even though they're going to take away your gun and make you go to a psychiatrist, don't think about that stuff. You know, just kill that dude before he kills you. You know, when I was, I remember when I went to the police academy because I was going to be a cop. I turned the job down. I was on a frozen list. I remember them telling me there's been shootouts at 7 feet between a cop and a bad guy. They emptied their guns and nobody was hit. He said, when you're in the middle of a gun battle, you have no idea how you're going to react. He said, they both emptied their guns and neither one was hit. I said, wow, at 7 feet, they didn't hit each other? I mean, it sounds phenomenal, but it's true, Jacko.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because probably their hands are shaking a bit with nerves and things. They're shooting at one another at short range. It's going to be the one who's got the best nerves and can hold the gun still the best, I guess. But that, you know, the funny part though, Don, and you're right about, you know, you're thinking about being arrested and everything. When that young lad down in Port Arthur in Tasmania shot about 20 people and wounded a whole lot of them, when he killed the second person, one of the, I'm not sure if it was a copper or a civilian, I think it was a civilian, got a rifle and he had him in the sight, the telescopic sights, and he was going to pull the trigger and they said, no, don't shoot him, you'll be charged with murder if you shoot him. We've got to try and stop him somehow without shooting him, you know, and he didn't, and he went on and killed a whole lot of people. Now, that guy could have pulled the trigger on him and stopped the whole thing there and then with only 2 people dead. and yet they let him go on and murder a whole lot of people. That's crazy. That's crazy law. If I was behind that rifle, I would have pulled the trigger. I would have worried about the consequences later, because he's murdering innocent tourists. They're just running everywhere trying to get away from him, and he's just pot shotting them off. So I would have pulled the trigger, but they stopped the guy from shooting, and that cost a lot of people their lives. So that's the craziness of law and what people think about shooting guns and things like that. If some criminal's shooting at you, then and you got the opportunity to shoot back and kill him, good luck to you, I reckon. If you can stop him, then do it. There are a couple of old people here have shot intruders, and they've let them go because they've been. One guy was about 75 or something like that, and he'd been broken into about 3 times, and this young lad broke in, 2 of them did apparently, and he pulled out the shotgun and he shot one of them and killed him, but they let him off because he was in his house and threatening his life, so they let him go. But yeah, it's a sad situation. It's getting worse. They're talking about taking the guns off you guys in America. I know Obama's pushing real hard to get that done, but don't let them do it. I know most people that have got guns don't go around shooting them anyhow. They just got them for protection, and you'll never stop the murderers and the bank robbers and all the rest of them. You won't stop them even if you take the guns away. So what the hell's the good of taking guns off people? I've got to go to bed, boys. It's well after 11 o'clock here at night, and it's 52 degrees. Hang on, I'll have a look. I think 52 degrees Fahrenheit in the temperature, so it's not a bad night. So I'm going to go and get some shut-eye, Don, and I'll catch up with you later. And you too, Terry, and Johnny, if he's still listening on the side. He's probably got he's probably got the bed. Anyway, you won't have to worry. The rock's coming, so you won't have to worry too much longer, Don, whether you got a gun or not. Won't do you much good with a gun when the rock hits us. I'll catch you later. Cheers. Back to you, Don.
Yeah, it's a good time for the rock, man. Yeah. Well, I got to go. I want to see them go too. I want to see their world messed up. Yeah, it's kind of. Well, Jack, things are not looking good in Europe, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, people don't want to realize that we're in some deep shit, man. This is the year of. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be real bad. I might be losing weight. I might have to be put on a forced diet of no money, no food. You know? Yeah, well, I'm glad I made it this far. I feel sorry for them young people. Getting out of college, can't find a job. I was watching a TV show. 49% of all middle class are not working. 49% of people that were making $100,000 a year, him and his wife, now are living with somebody that opened up a home to them for one room for them. Them 2 people and their 4 kids are living in one 12 by 12 foot room, and they're glad to have it too, because they lost their home and everything. This is just repeating itself, and come on, man, they were printing money for years. Is there enough gold to back it? I doubt it. Probably ran out of gold 20 years ago. The facade lives on, man. It's all a joke. It's all a freaking joke. Yeah, well, it's coming to an end, and this is the last year of the Federal Reserve. The 100-year contract runs out in 2012. So there's that in itself is a big problem. That's going to put an end to the scheme. It's not looking good. I'm telling you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy every day that you have. Every day that looks kind of normal, because I got a funny feeling in the next 6 months it may be all different. All different. I mean, they're talking about putting the internet. The government's talking about controlling the internet. What do you think that's about? You bet your ass they want to control the internet. Because that's the only thing that's linking the common people together, and they don't want that. They don't want you getting information, because the news media ain't telling you nothing. You get on these websites. Johnny makes fun of me. I go to these ATS and before it's news, and you're hearing crap, man. you know, that you will never see on the news you're reading about. And yeah, maybe it is bullshit, but it's bullshit I want to be able to read about. You know, I have to make my own decisions on it, whether it's bullshit or not. You know, the whole thing is you know, they want to keep us uninformed and stupid. They don't want us to know. It's like Jesse Ventura, you know, with the stuff about the HARRP system. You know, nobody even knew it existed till he brought it out. Now you know they're all over the world. Well, what are these HARRP systems going to do? It controls the weather. You know, ionosphere research. Yeah, my ass. They got them in every country. You know? Now you know they can cause earthquakes, they can change the weather, and they can control people's minds by putting this RF into their brain. You can put earplugs in, and they're going to do you any good. It's going to go right into your brain. The guy actually gave a demonstration on TV. He had this guy put a recorder, and he says, I hear it in my head. He says, that's right, and the HARRP system can do that. It can put it into your head without making contact with your body. The guy says, that's weird. It was on TV. Hey, how much proof do you need? You know, well, why is it everybody don't believe things? They see it on TV, they don't believe it. The government says it, they believe it wholeheartedly. Oh yeah, the government said it. Yeah, hey, come on, man. I get mad when I talk about this stuff because I can't believe how stupid people are. They deserve to get hit with a rock. No shit.
Yeah, one of the things they've been doing over here, Don, is they've stopped subliminal broadcasting. This is when you've got a normal TV ad on television and they flash pictures at the back of the system which you can't normally read, but which your brain reads. It tells you to buy ice cream or buy this or buy that. And they've stopped that now. They were doing it quite a bit, and they've stopped all of that over here. It's called subliminal broadcasting. Putting three-dimensional brainwashing, Don. That is dreadful, isn't it? G0BXL.
God, Terry, that's an ancient thing. That's ancient. They've been doing that, Jesus, man. I can't even think how many years that's been being done. You know, it stopped being done when people started becoming aware of it. There was, you know, they were slipping these frames in with the film, and it would, you know, you wouldn't actually be able to see it, but your brain would pick up on it. You know, put a cold soda or water or something, make you thirsty. You know, hell, I don't need those messages to go out and want to have a Heineken. You know, I can conjure them up myself. You know what I mean? Seriously. Yeah, but they got stuff now they can put it into your head without visual. That HARRP system is a very dangerous weapon. People don't realize how dangerous it is. You know, it can cause earthquakes because they shoot a low frequency off the ionosphere. It ricochets off the ionosphere. And what they do is they send planes up and they put a metallic metal into the air, and it even gets a signal down stronger. And it's throwing 3 billion watts out. 3 billion. It's reflecting off the ionosphere, and maybe at 6 or 7 cycles, and it's hitting the ground, and it's moving the rocks under the ground. It's vibrating them, and eventually triggers an earthquake. I mean, this is stuff, you know. Yeah. I mean, why would you want a thing shooting 3 billion watts up, and why would there be 25 of them in the world? They got to work. You know, these things take 35 acres of land. They take multiple engines and trailers. You know, there might be 30 trailers out there with 4 engines in there developing horsepower to make the RF. I mean, come on. You know, and the control, where they're controlling it from is about a half a mile away because of the RF. It's so bad it'll cook you like a freaking hot dog. If you're anywhere in the vicinity when they trigger that thing up, you'd die. It'd be like being stuck in a microwave oven. The RF would be so intense. You know, this is facts. These are all facts. This isn't that fiction, man. This is shit that's going on right now. They got a board. They hold it up like a picture frame. They aim it in the direction of the kids that are protesting. They turn it on. They can't hear the sound on either side. They can't hear behind it, but yet all the kids are dropping to their knees because the sound waves are hitting them, and it's making them immobile. They got stuff, man. You know how our government works. You never find out about it till they use it. And then you say, oh my God, I didn't know we had that. It's the way they work, man. It's the way the government works. You don't know. We didn't know they had the atomic bomb till they dropped it. They got so many damn weapons today, I have no idea. what they could do to you and how they can do it to you. You know, it's like you're afraid to take shots. They could put it in your milk. They could put it in everything. They say fluoride was never used for the teeth. It actually controls your mood. That fluoride doesn't do a damn thing for your teeth. Yeah, do I believe it? Yeah, why not? Be careful. Be careful. I don't care who's listening. I'm 68 years old. I think, you know, at this stage of my life, I don't have to be careful about nothing. This is what you got to be careful of. You want to see something? This is what you got to be careful of. Thunder Bay is listening. It's the only one I'm concerned about is Doug, you know, because he's hearing a lot of dopes lately.
Anyway, you wanted to get away, Don. I'll let you get away. I've got to do one or two things here myself, so there we are. Anyway, lovely to hook up with you again. I was looking just now at the new pictures from NASA. They've done a 4-day circling of the Earth with the old space program up there. Some fantastic pictures of four circuits of the Earth, showing all the aurora borealis and all the other bits and pieces. Absolutely beautiful, Don. If you have a look at the NASA site, you can pick it up. Anyway, and lovely to hook up with you again, Don. G0BXL.
Yeah, they were talking about that spaceship plane up in. It was unmanned for over a year, circling the globe. God knows what that was doing. You know, nobody says what that was. Nobody knew it was up there. Maybe the other countries knew it was up there, but we didn't know it was up there. You know, I'm sure the Russians and everybody else will keep an eye on that sucker because they know what's going on. You know, all them top level people, you know, with the need-to-know basis know what's going on. We don't know what's going on anymore. Yep, it's interesting what's going on. I'm telling you. Yep, it's kind of like depressing. You know, there's nothing good. There's no good feelings coming out of anywhere, Terry. That's the problem. You know, how can kids feel good about life when, you know, when we grew up there was work and you could make money, you could buy a car. Life was simple. It was simple and it was good. Now it's very technical, and it's scary. It's scary as hell, man. All right, Terry, take care. Nice talking to you again, too. I'm glad you got your thing back on the air. 7-3, man. WB2H1 clip.
Yeah, cheers, Tom. Best wishes to the family there. And we're talking to you soon. And thanks again for everything. And thanks for the old bits of the emails. Still enjoy them a lot. G0BXL. I had a whole lot to catch up this time, Don. You've been pretty busy. Lovely to work you. See you soon. Be lucky. Be healthy. And see you again. G0BXL.
Yeah, 7-3, yeah. Just delete them. Half of them you don't have to read. I delete a lot of stuff. I only keep the real good short ones. I like them short and sweet. Take care, Terry.